Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I've got Daniel Kleinmann, Senior Associate of Addy Family Office, addyfamily.com. All right, Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about yourself, your family office, and what you do in the early stage investing processes.
Sure. So I help manage the venture side of Family Office. The Family Office was established about 6 years ago. It came from an operating company that did extremely well in the software services space. And the Family Office, the principals decided they wanted to invest in healthcare and technologies that improve our quality of life. So they brought me on board about a year and a half ago to help build out the venture side of things. We've done 8 direct investments, and we invest at the intersection of technology and medicine. And we typically write check sizes anywhere from 100 to 500,000 or up to $1 million with a syndicate of other family offices. And yeah, that's about it.
Where do you see, because you see a lot of new technologies in that sector, where do you see the future of this industry sector going?
Wow, that's a great question. I think the space is just rapidly transforming right now. I think that what's happening in just the realm of medicine is that we don't know so much and we haven't known so much, but today with the new technology, we're able to gather information and use machine learning to sift through all that data. And that's creating opportunities that we didn't know before, whether it be the implementation of a new medical device or a new diagnostic play, or the ability to use information through remote, like telemedicine. So it just, the data that we're able to gather today that we wouldn't have been able to gather 10 years ago is just transforming the industry.
What are some of the really cool investments you guys have made as of recent?
So we've made two investments recently in this space that are really interesting. One is Omada Health, which is Andreessen Horowitz-backed company, which is nearing, I think will be $1 billion valuation soon, and that's transforming the diabetic space, which is digital therapeutics. So it's a therapy through an app that basically helps you monitor and optimize and manage your diabetic situation. And then another one is that
like diet versus insulin and all that?
Yeah, and then they also have a scale that you go and they gathers data through that and basically helps you understand. But it's not an actual device, it's just therapy, digitally. And then the other one is Elemental Machines, which is digital IoT in healthcare, where they basically have monitors and sensors to help you optimize your laboratory experiments. And if you're if you're cultivating bacteria and it's sitting in a petri dish in a fridge somewhere for up to 48 hours and the temperature changes inside that fridge, you get notified, and then the machine learning will adjust the temperature automatically to optimize the scenario of whatever you're trying to experiment on.
Good. The applications for that seem to be more than just in the petri dish.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great point because we view it as a platform technology. We view it as healthcare as just being one aspect of it, but they're actually going after in their next generation of devices to food production. And being able to optimize food production. And that's something that we do like to look at as well, platform technologies that can start in the healthcare space, improve quality of life, improve efficiencies in there, and then transition to, the multi-billion-dollar valuations.
Now, you're not just sourcing your deals here domestically, you also have an international reach with that. Tell us about that.
So we have a great presence in Israel. I'm originally Israeli, and the family office really is doubling down on Israel because we're seeing a lot of unbelievable technologies coming out of there for a much lower valuation than what you see here.
Why is that?
I think people don't have the access to get over there, and I think that there's less of a venture capital presence right now. We're seeing in Silicon Valley a bit of a bubble. There's a lot of capital flowing, and if you're a startup coming out of Stanford, your valuation isn't going to be less than $10 million. While the corresponding technology and team in Israel will value at about $2 to $3 million. So we see great opportunity there, and we have a venture partner on the ground over there who helps source our deals and kind of navigate through that ecosystem. So we're very bullish, and Israel is the second country that has, the second most startups or companies listed on the NASDAQ behind America. So you have a lot of companies maturing and going to the IPO and selling in America for equivalent values. And that's why we see Israel as a strategic advantage of ours.
I can see that too. Now, you're in charge of running the company, running the family office. Talk to me about building that.
Well, I came on board about a year and a half ago to primarily focus on the venture capital side of things. I think a family office, it's very diverse. You got different asset classes. You have real estate, equities, fixed incomes, oil and gas, PE, and then venture. And it just depends on what the mandate of the family office is. And in this case, they really wanted to expand their venture capital and institutionalize it. So I came on board and kind of helped take what was there previously and find ways to create processes and, for example, leverage my relationships in Israel to help us build, a good sourcing channel. And then over here, just under the leadership of our principal, Adil, being able to learn so much from him and on how to navigate through the ecosystem and kind of leverage the relationships we had.
Where are you going to take the company next?
Right now we're at
you got a lot of work in Israel to do. I know
Yeah.
that. So, but still, you a guy like you has always got an expanded horizon.
So we're at a pivotal point where we want to either transition to our fund or stay as a family office. And what that would mean would just be we're getting a lot of requests from family networks and other family offices to want to join in on what we're doing. So the question becomes, do we want to be able to create a multifamily entity, create a fund of some sort, or stay as is? And that's the pivotal point we're at today. And we're constantly discussing that, and I think that might be something that you'd see in the near future.
When people come to you, what is the stage that you want them to be in order to fit within the profile of the family office or the venture side of your business?
From a startup's perspective?
Yes.
So we typically would like to catch a company when they're at, just past angel round, raising their seed round. And the criteria we put forth is companies that have exceptional CEOs, seasoned veterans, providing a solution that is really going to improve the quality of life of the patients they're going after, or improve efficiencies in the healthcare systems that haven't been before. And we typically look to also join other venture capital firms who are coming in on that round. So we know that where we don't excel, there's other partners on board that can help drive that company forward and add additional value.
Now, you must see opportunity in Dallas. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I think Dallas, I grew up in Canada. My parents are Israeli. I grew up in Israel also, and I was living in New York doing my MBA before this, and I never really knew or had any exposure to Dallas, but once I got here, I fell in love. I think that there's really smart people, a lot of smart money. There's a lot of customers here, which is extremely important, and I think that it's just a hidden gem. As my boss says, it's a flyover state where people come and think New York, LA, Miami, San Francisco, but Dallas, I think, has so much tremendous opportunity. It's strategically positioned in America, and I think that it could become, if not the number one market in the next decade.
Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.